Hey, what's up guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome back to another episode of playing Gemstone Legends. In today's video, I want to talk about the new hero that was available from a Halloween event, Rogar. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about Rogar and give you my initial impressions of him, and then also how I've set him up, and I'm going to talk about where he's useful and where you might find him being used. So Rogar is a attacker warrior type. If you take a look at his special ability, he deals damage to an enemy based on his attack, and he also ignores 20% defense. So he's going to deal 20% additional damage to the boss regardless of how high their defense is. And this is a really useful ability because you can get more damage and it doesn't matter what their defense value is. There are quite a few heroes that have that, and generally they can deal pretty good damage. His passive ability is pretty interesting because he gives you a damage increase. Okay, so a damage increase is something that's applied at the end of your damage calculation. So if the enemy is at 70% health, his damage is going to be increased by 25%. So whatever the final damage would have been, you get additional 25% on that. And then if there is only one enemy alive, his damage is further increased by 30% as well. And also, if there's only one enemy alive, then he's also immune to burn, bleed, and poison. So this makes him perfect candidate for the fire raid boss, Vermin. Okay, and in fact, that's what I'm going to show you a little bit how he fares against Vermin. I have him at 5 stars right now, and 2 stars awaken. I'm going to wait until I can get my 5-star heroes, feeder heroes leveled up, and I'll get him to 6 stars afterwards. But let's talk about his equipments. So because one thing to know as an attacker type, anytime you see a ability that says, deal damage based on attack, you automatically, what you want to do is focus on 3 things. You want to focus on the attack value, critical rate, and critical damage. Okay, and so if you take a look at the gloves, the armor, and the boots, they all have attack boost as their primary attribute. And then I look for, as much as I can, critical rate as well as critical damage sub stats as well, so I can get to 100% critical rating and 100 plus for critical damage. I actually want more critical damage if I can, so I'm still on the lookout for different equipments. But right now I have them set this way, and I'm using a Hawkeye set to give me additional 15% critical rating. I also managed to find a warrior set that gives me 15% attack so that I could get additional attack value here. But you don't have to focus on getting sets, although having Hawkeye set does help to get you to the 100% critical rate. I'm at 102% right now, and so this is going to guarantee that I will always get a critical damage against neutral or against red enemies. Okay, it's not a guarantee if I go up against blue enemies, but I generally wouldn't use it against a blue enemy anyway. And now, so let's take a look at what he's going to be like when you in various situations. All right, so the first situation I'm going to talk you through is against the raid boss Vermin, which is a red boss. And because there is only one hero, one enemy, if you take a look at Rogar's ability here, his stats, he is going to have increased damage, but it doesn't show up here because it's not an increase to critical damage, it's an increase to his final damage number, so you're not going to see it here. But his ability for being immune to burn is going to come into play, and also he's going to deal additional damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to see how much damage he can deal. I'm also the boss currently also has a decreased defense on right now, so he's going to take a little bit more damage. And so right now he is able to deal a little bit over 19,000. Compare this to Xena, who is at 6 stars, 6 stars awakened, and has quite a bit of critical damage. You take a look at her damage, it's 207% critical damage. Okay, and so she also will deal more damage because her ability allows her to deal more damage based on the amount of positive stats affecting her. So you can take a look, and she's able to deal 35,000. So she does deal more damage than Rogar here, but if you think about it, Rogar's at 5 stars, not fully awakened, and he also doesn't have the increased attack. Okay, so Xena's ability gives her increased attack, and Rogar currently doesn't have it. So if you can get increased attack on Rogar and increased, and also if you can get increased, critical damage, for example, you could deal really good damage against the boss here because you're getting that additional damage boost applied. And now let's take a look and see what happens after when Vermin's about to attack. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let the boss hit. So what you'll see here is Vermin's going to attack, and one of the hardest things about Vermin here is his burn status, and so that's why usually you want to bring in like a like Sigil or another hero that is going to be able to dispel. But you can see here, because he's immune, you will have a lot less things to worry about when it comes to dealing with Vermin. And so if you have multiple copies, for example, like in the future when Rogar becomes more available, and let's say you pull multiple copies of him, he could become very useful in the situation where you don't need to worry about dispelling Burn. Burn is a really difficult status to deal with, and you can see here everyone has to, everyone's inflicted by it, but he's passively immune. That means like there's no way that he'll ever be hit with with that burn, as long as there's only one enemy left. All right, so here is another setup I wanted to showcase here using Gafodeth, whose ability gives a increased attack as well as protective shield. So when I activate her, you're going to see that Rogar now has increased attack as well. So similar situation here. There is a decreased defense on the boss right here, and so you can see that Xena is going to deal about the same amount of damage because she already has increased attack from before. Now let's take a look at and see how much damage Rogar is able to deal. So you can see it's now jumped up to 29,000 instead of 19,000. And so you can see that by giving these type of boosts to Rogar, you're going to be able to deal more damage. And you can see that even at just 5 stars and not fully awakened, Rogar is already approaching the same kind of damage that Xena is. And Xena historically has been the one hero that deals the most damage for me, and Rogar is quickly catching up. So definitely against a single enemy, this is where he's going to shine. All right, now here's another situation where we're up against a boss, but this is against a Rift boss that has 2 totems next to it. And because the totems are around, you're not going to get the passive ability available for Rogar here. So now let's take a look and see how much damage each of these can deal. So we're up against the Phoenix right now, and we're going to first start with Rogar. So Rogar can deal 22,000 with the additional attack. As you can see, increased attack here and also decreased defense from Nora. Nora is actually really good in this level as well. I actually prefer using Nora over Alton in this case, and we can talk about that more. But so 22,000 from Rogar and 44,000 from Xena. Keep in mind that the Phoenix has less defense, and so more damage is able to get through from Xena, and that's why there's such a big difference. And you can see here, because there is more than one enemy, Rogar now is hit with burn. So this is where you have to sort of pay attention to where Rogar works best. Really, if you're able to get the enemy down to by itself, then you're going to get the most out of him. He's still going to be strong against waves because he can deal pretty good damage, but you can see here his damage definitely will be lower once he's in against a mob or with more units. But having attack, increased attack is definitely going to really help here, because the more attack you give him, the more damage he can deal. So one of the things I wasn't able to do was make a video during Halloween, and I had a code that's available for you, so I couldn't give it to you, but I'm going to do this now. So go ahead and use this. This is still going to be available for the next couple of days, so take advantage of this. So the code is going to be tricks and treats. Okay, so go ahead and enter this code. It's going to give you 1 3-star cauldron as well as a 4-star cauldron, so that's going to help you with your ascensions as well. And that's going to be it for me for today's episode. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about the hero Rogar, and if there's anything that I might have missed here, I'd love to hear your feedback on it. Anyways, that's going to be it for me. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.